Welcome to Micro's tutorial. We'll be looking at limit of trigonometric functions. Example, find the limit of sine 6x over 2x as x tends to 0 to limit of tan x over 5x as x tends to 0. Now, there are basically some terms in limits, trigonometric functions that you have to do. That's very important. And one of them is that the limit cos x as x tends to 0 is equals to 1. My second one is that the limit of sine x over x as x tends to 0 is equals to 1. And the last one is that the limit of sine x as x tends to 0 is equals to 0. With these three limits, we'll be able to solve these problems. Number one of the problem, first solution. Number one is that the limit of as x tends to 0 of sine 6x over 2x. If you observe, based on the second term, we have limit of sine x over x as x tends to 0 is 1. So we need this and this to be the same. So we look forward to multiply by 2 to make it 6. That will give us 3 over 3. And 3 over 3 is 1. We have sine 6x over 2x. That will give us, now say as limit as x tends to 0, sine 6x divided by 3 times 2 is 6x. Just with 3 out here. These two are the same now. This angle and this is 6x and 6x. So limit as x tends to 0, this becomes 1. So you have 3 times 1 equals to 3. The second case says the limit of tan x divided by 5x as x tends to 0. Now tan is same thing as sine x over cos x. Now, same thing as splitting this to limit as x tends to 0, sine x times 1 over cos x times 1 over 5 times 1 over x. So that we have a limit as x tends to 0. You can bring x to match of this so that you use property 2. So we have sine x over x times 1 over cos x times 1 over 5. Now, limit of a function, limit of f of x times g of x as x approaches a number called a, same thing as the limit of f of x as x tends to a times the limit of g of x as x tends to a. So application of this to this we have, which follows that, and call this 1. When you that 1 follows from 1 follows that the limit of sine x over x as x tends to 0 times the limit of 1 over cos x as x tends to 0 times the limit of as x tends to 0 of 1 over 5. Now the limit of a constant is a constant, and the limit of this based on this term is 1. That will give us 1 times the limit as x tends to 0 of 1 over cos x times limit of 1 over 5 is 1 over 5. Now we also note that if you apply the limit of f of x over g of x as x tends to a point a, same thing as the limit f of x as x tends to a divided by the limit as x tends to a of g of x. So applying this to 2, by applying 3 to 2, that will give us 1 times the limit of 1 as x tends to 0 divided by the limit as x tends to 0 of cos x times 1 over 5. Now the limit as x tends to 0 of 1 is 1, And the limit as x is 0 of course x is also 1. So we have 1 times 1 over 1 times 1 over 5, which is going to give us 1 times 1 over 1 is 1 times 1 is 1 times 1 over 5 remains 1 over 5. So the first limit, the first result gave us 3 and the second gave us 1 over 5. Thank you viewers all over the world for watching. People subscribe, share and drop comments. Thank you.